Hi, I'm Leo and I am currently doing 100 days of React.js challenge where I'll be making short videos to explain the basics of React. So if you're interested in learning the basics of React or learning about React from beginner level to advanced, you can subscribe to the channel and follow along. Alright, that being said, today we'll be looking at states. So basically, what is state in React.js? So state is a built-in object that allows components to create and manage their own data. So before I go into this, there are a few things you must know, and one is that state actually affects the performance of your app, so it should be used only where necessary. So originally state was used in class components only, but with React hooks you can actually use them in both class and functional components. And the last thing to note about this is that states should not be modified directly, should not come here and change the data of the state. So the best way to do this is to use a method called setState. Alright, that being said, there are a couple of differences between the state and the props, and one of them is that the prop data, they actually use to, the prop is used to pass data from one component to another, mostly from parent component to the child component, while state is used for managing data. Now secondly, data from props cannot be modified, they are immutable. So they cannot be modified by the child component or the component that is receiving that data, whereas state data can actually be modified by its own components, although it cannot be changed or accessed by external components. Alright, and the last thing to know is that whenever state object changes, the component re-renders to effect this change. Alright, that being said, I'll move to my text editor to explain how this works. Alright, so how this works basically is you write your this.state, you put an equal sign, you open up your curly braces, and then you write the property and the value, the property, the value, the property, the value. So when you have like more than one property and you want to state them, you separate each one with a comma. So this is same with what you do in JavaScript objects. So here, when you're using this data here, how you fetch this data is this.state dot the property name. So the property here is model, the value is going to be Mustang. So when you call this, it's going to fetch the values just like your normal JavaScript. So when I open this up in my browser, it's going to say, you can see here, Ford, Red, Mustang, and 1994. So like I said earlier, that you should not modify your data directly, but rather use something called setState method. So next I'm going to be using setState method to modify some of these data.